Jace, a lot of guys dealing with being banged up this year. Caden, Weston, all these guys. What does it say? Is it kind of a hallmark of this year's squad of like being able to fight through some of those things and still perform at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's baseball, right? It's honestly, it's not even baseball. It's life. Sometimes you have adversity, and you just have to find ways to get through. You just have to find different things that, honestly, that let your mind not think of it, right? Just staying positive, staying on the side of it can always be worse. You know what I mean? So I think that this year's it's a testament to what this team's been through and what we're going to keep doing.
Is there a guy who's been banged up, one of those guys that has impressed you the most with how he's been able to perform through all that?
I mean, it's probably a pretty easy answer to watch what, as people like to call him, Super Sorell, to watch what that kid's been doing. Even though he just comes on here and just says I'm nice, that's what he's learned. I guess I teach people how to be nice. I don't know. It's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, he's amazing. It's fun to watch that kid kind of grow and watch what he's been doing in this game. It's unbelievable.
How have you noticed other teams and other pitching staffs approach you this year versus your first 2 years in college?
Honestly, I don't really know. I just go up there with the same approach that I always do. Sometimes I get in between, but that's baseball. That's what happens within the game. I try and live pitch to pitch. Sometimes I get out of that and I get in my own way, really and truly. I think that's more the moral of the story for me is like how many at-bats can I go through without getting in my own way? And I think the more I can do that, the more successful I'll be.
LSU coming up, any added motivation for playing against the program you could have been a part of?
No, sir. There's not. I love being here. I love being an Aggie, and that's a long time in the past.
Did I hear correctly, though, that you grew up in Louisiana for a few years?
Yes, sir. All my family still lives in Louisiana. So, I mean, they're excited to watch this, but at the same time, it's just another weekend. It's an important weekend that we just have to go and play good baseball, and no matter who we're playing it, at the end of the day, it's just it's just kids with a different name on the jersey, right? So.
Were you born in Louisiana?
I was not. I was born in Pensacola, Florida.
How old were you when you moved there?
Probably literally like 2 or 3 days old.
Okay.
And so I lived there for a few years and then moved to Texas.
Gotcha. What town did you live in Louisiana?
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
So, yeah, not too far.
And you said family still, what kind of parents still live there at all? Or?
No, it's like uncles, aunts, like all, just literally pretty much, it's me, my grandma, grandpa, and brother that are in Texas, and the rest of my family's over there.
Gotcha. How old were you when you moved back to Texas?
Like 3, 4, somewhere around there, so.
Did you spend a lot of time in Louisiana growing up then, like during summers or whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I went back a lot this off season. Like I just enjoy going back seeing family. I think that's always something that you need to do, and I think the more quality time you can spend with people, the better, right? So.
Do a lot of hunting and fishing over there?
Oh, I love to. Yes, sir.
What kind of fishing and hunting do you do?
I like to go duck hunting out there. I don't do much fishing down there. Whenever I go, I more go just so I can go duck hunting. Most of my fishing's around here, so.
You got Cajun food at all?
Oh, if I lived there, I'd be severely overweight, and I know that for sure. For sure.
What's your go-to then?
Yeah, well, obviously, whenever crawfish season comes around, you gotta indulge in some crawfish. But I'd go with some etouffee, jambalaya, gumbo. I mean, I could keep it rolling, but I mean, we might be here for a little bit longer than what y'all want, so I'll keep it short and sweet.
Given what your last 4 games have looked like, what have you been working on this week to get you back to the kind of player we know you have been and the one you were up in Fayetteville a couple weeks ago?
Just gotta find that feel. There's not really this game's so weird. It's a game of feels. It's a game of like some days you don't feel good, but you still have to try and go perform. And whenever you don't feel good, you're like, what am I doing? But at the same time, you're still the same guy. You're still the same player. So it's a game. It's literally a game of inches, game of feels, game of milliseconds. You could be a millisecond late, and all of a sudden, that same swing that you took if you're a millisecond earlier, it's a homer. But instead, you just jammed yourself, and maybe you still got a hit, maybe you didn't. So at the same time, like I try and keep it into perspective of, like I said earlier, it could be a lot worse. Like, yeah, I'll even talk about Tuesday. I was pretty in the dumps after probably one of the worst games in college I've ever played. But at the same time, like I look at it and I'm like, you know what? Like I could be somewhere totally different, doing something totally different that I don't love. But instead, I get to come here every day. Even though I went 0 for 6, I still got to do the thing that I love. I still got to wake up and come here and play the game of baseball. Like, obviously, I want to do much better than that, and I know I can. But at the same time, it's like you're going to have days like that. You can't always be perfect, even though I want to live in a world where I'm batting 1,000 with 1,000 home runs, right? But at the same time, you can't do that. So I think the moral of the story for me is just like keeping that same mindset. How many at-bats can I go in a row without getting in my own way, without getting my own head of getting in between, just taking my swing, and if the result doesn't happen that at-bat, all right, cool. I have the next one. If it doesn't happen then, if I go 0 for 12 this weekend, oh well, I'll have 12 more. So.
Have you been able to impart that wisdom to some of your teammates? Some of you guys have had some battles through. You guys had some highs and lows. Have you been able to kind of impart that to some younger guys?
Yeah, I think that's something that we talk about a lot is get your swing off and don't be afraid of failure. I've seen a lot of videos, and I've had a lot of people send me videos of like fear of failing is a real thing. Like you can fear failure, and that's something that you don't want to do. You should learn from failure. You should learn from your at-bat. You should go into the at-bat of like, okay, I'm on a mission here. I'm on a mission to get my swing off on my pitch, and if I do that, then I've accomplished my goal. Now the result, you have no say in what that is, right? Sometimes they throw you a home run, and you get your A swing off and you hit a home run. And so that's something for me that these videos have really showed me, like, don't be afraid of failing. Like, that's something that you can learn from, you can grow from. You can go back into the dugout and be like, okay, like, was I on time? Did I swing at a strike? Did I do this? Like, there's many processes that I go through, and I try and go through that we all go through that, like, we try and learn from each other, too. Like, I'll ask, like, hey, what are you seeing off this guy? Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, what do you got? And they'll give me something, and I'm like, okay, I like that a lot. I'll go into that bat thinking that. And so, yeah, we all kind of feed off of each other in that sense.
Kind of playing off that, since Caden wouldn't answer the question, what knowledge have you imparted on him specifically?
You know, I'll go right back to what he said. I'm just a nice guy, man. I teach people how to be nice, and you know what? If that's what people could say about me, I'm kind of fine with that. So I'll keep that there.
I know when Mike started his career here, he was a volunteer, or volunteer assistant coach, like had been in baseball for a long time. What does it mean to you that, at least early in your career, there was coaches that would not take any payroll to be a part of the organization and coach y'all up?
Yeah, it says a lot about just their character. It says a lot about how much they love the game, right? Like, I truly believe that whenever my time for me playing this game's done, I truly believe that I'll be within some form of this game for a very, very long time. I think that I wouldn't say God put me on this earth to play the game of baseball. I think he put me on this earth to right now play the game of baseball, but later on be something like what Coach Mike and all the other coaches have done for us, is like be a mentor, teach people. And if at the end of the day that's not what I'm on this earth for, then I'll find something else, and I'll be damn happy I'm doing it.
Looking back, what's been the biggest benefit for you choosing to come to college versus you have maybe an opportunity to go pro out of high school?
Yeah, I'm gonna stray away from baseball in this one. Weirdly enough, I think that just mentally, and I've met so many people while at Texas A&M that I now call family. I've made so many relationships, and I've gotten to do so many things within my life that I never thought I'd be able to do if I didn't come to college. And I'm forever grateful that I came to the University of Texas A&M, and that I get to call myself an Aggie for the rest of my life, because this place has changed how I think about life, how I go about life, and just what I do on an everyday basis. So sorry if I didn't relate that to baseball, but at the end of the day, I think that it's been amazing for me to be here and forever call myself an Aggie.
Yeah, just along those lines too. You had to choose A&M multiple times, committing out of high school, choosing the college or pro, and then even last summer, amid everything that happened, just why A&M through it all?
It's easy. It's an easy question to answer. I never wanted to leave this place. I've said it many times, and short answer is it's home. It feels like home. I don't want to be anywhere else. I think once you go somewhere and you're like, all right, this is it. This is where I click. I think it's a pretty easy decision to choose where you want your home to be, and this is a pretty special place to call home. So.
Thanks, Jace.